Battle control initialized.
What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more Combined Arms content. Once again, we have Moods playing as Reaper 17 in his color. His opponent is going to be none other than Hod today, who's playing as Soviets as always. Looks like he randomed into Russia. We are on Schwerpunkt from Pinkthought. Pretty classic map, I feel like, nowadays. Got these two old Erics, one back here in the corner, one right here in the middle. Communication center that kind of sees this like split triple mine expansion. Then you have quite a bit of starting ORA and a single mine expansion here, so not super eco heavy, but very flank heavy, very wide flanks on this map. You can see that Hod is rushing out a dog right away, hoping to catch an engineer, but Moods is just going for that single there for now, probably thinking about going for that second one later. Both these players just working on a ref right now. We'll have to see if they diverge into two refs or not. I mean, Hod is pushing pretty aggressively with some soldiers here. Maybe you could see him doing double ref, but as it stands right now, he's probably just going to try to cap an engineer just coming across with this excellent dog vision. Fortunately, this dog vision not going in just out of the sight of those warriors. Now he's going to go and scout. Let's see that Moods is panicking a little bit, going for a war factory first now, getting that harvester out, getting his warriors back in. Oh, and there's some grenadiers with him, so they might be able to catch this power plant. And I think he is going to, especially with the dog, 'cause the dog is probably going to get a warrior here. Yes, and a second warrior. It does indeed. This power plant is going to go down. This is an exit play by Hod right there. Probably not going to get this rep, but I think it's actually going to be pretty close. Moods pumping out some more warriors now. Has to focus on the dog a little bit, but might be able to get away with it. The dog just slightly out of position. Gets a grenadier, and the dog goes down. So, man, that was super close. It's almost going to get into the red, and it does get into the red. Hod taking a nice early advantage there. What has he got going on the back side of this? Just getting out a second power plant and getting his war factory out. Maybe follow it up with some more grenadiers, because why not? You know, he could come across with his long flanks and just get a grenadier on top there, and that looks like exactly what he's trying to do. Maybe should wait for a war factory, but again, this will probably be repaired by then. Moods on the other hand, he probably should just be very careful of these grenadiers coming. I mean, he might expect them. I would probably expect it, getting that ref as low as it was. Maybe even worth throwing in your engineer in there just so you're sure about it, because it is your only ref right now. He is going for that war factory first, so this is going to be pretty costly. The grenadiers are going to take a while to get there, and this will be probably about 75% healed. Oh no, another engineer is coming out from Moods too. If he moves his entire force out, that could be so bad. We'll have to see exactly when these grenadiers hit. There's not much else going on here right now. War factory just coming out for Hod, and it looks like he is going to go for a BTR first and a quick expansion. I was going to say, going the wrong way. He's going to that triple mine expansion on the backside. And now the three grenadiers do come in, but Moods is barely going to be ready for this. He has a plasma cannon, and his grenadiers are going to get shut down, which is great to see. A little bit slow to start building his ref or his harvester out of that warp sphere. That's okay. I'm sure Moods will fix it, and there he goes. Got a harvester up and another plasma cannon, because why not? Sold this one off. Never a bad thing to have those in the pocket. And Hod on the same time, he's just, you know, macroing up now. Drops some flame towers himself. Maybe he's a little bit worried, but I mean, he did move out early with his MC, so it does make sense. And Moods just going to start pumping out some more infantry. Got to be careful, though. He's getting pretty down there. And Hod does have an engineer up here. Not sure why he hasn't got it in there. Maybe he's just rallied over there and forgot about it. We're going to see some flamethrowers follow up here, which is nice, too. Soviets do enjoy their flamethrower play much better than they are in RA. Moods is probably actually going to steal this oil derrick, and then it'd be funny if Hod just instantly decaps it. But Moods will get that $300 bonus, which is always nice. He is up to 3 harvesters now. Fourth one coming out, I assume. Yes, it is. And he has some warriors on hold. Meanwhile, Hod has established himself here and got a Tesla coil, which is great. Depowered currently probably go up power as soon as that power plant is down, and it does. It'd be interesting to see if he wants to move that MCV again or just kind of crawl up here. It's a little bit far from my taste. I'd rather be able to cover up here just a little bit more, but he is definitely shutting down this back flank. And Moods does grab this oil derrick, and then Hod's gonna be like, thank you, I'll just decap that. You get to keep the $300. That'll be fine. Moods going up to 5 harvesters now. Nope, getting out that interloper. And I see that both these players are going to tier 2. Moods gonna be a little bit quicker, so those intruders and those ravagers probably gonna be coming out rather shortly, I assume. We'll have to see as soon as his barracks gets going. And yes, it is gonna be an intruder. Have to see if he's just gonna do like a 1-to-1 combo or 2-to-1. I think 2-to-1 with ravagers is pretty good, since they tend to be a little bit faster and run to their deaths. But it's kind of hard to do that off the fly. Oh, and we see the Shardwalker being researched, so, and a Stormcaller, so Moods going for all the upgrades right now. Heavy hazmat suits coming out for Hod has got his heavy tank and a ball here in the middle. Probably could be poking against Moods right now. Second barracks coming down for Moods as well. So this is going to be a very tier 2 heavy army like you would expect from Scrin. And Moods is going to go to the single side, which is, again, I think a mistake because it just locks you out of all this extra juicy tib. And you got to move that much further with your colony platform to get over there. Stormcrawler out 2. This is excellent armor for Reaper. As I had remember if he was Reaper or not. Of course, it's Reaper because he's getting Shard Walkers, but Intruder Ravager combo is coming out. I wonder if he's just doing all Intruders from here and all Ravagers here. That's totally possible, and that'll probably get you about 2 to 1 since they are 500 and 275. So that is a nice little way to do it himself. Hod is also stolen away this communication center and sees that Mood is not here, so that should cue him into that Moods is only in one direction. In fact, if he attacks now, this could be pretty bad for Moods. I think army value is a little bit ahead for Hod, probably gonna start slowing down for him since he's only on 2 production right now, but the Tesla tanks and the Tesla tracks will be pretty brutal against this Scrin combination as soon as they get up into numbers. Tesla tanks in particular. There is a few heavy armor here, so it won't be super good, and those intruders will definitely melt these Tesla tanks as well. So I'm not sure who would actually win there. His army value just a little bit bigger in this death ball here. He's got some more back here, some walls coming up on his backside as well. Not sure if Shardwalkers are really worth it. I know they got buffed to be a little bit better, but they still just don't have quite the hit scan that Gunwalkers do, so I feel like that's a little bit less effective. Then again, though, he's going to probably be dealing with more of a heavy armor, light armor composition, so infantry not super great. Some Storm Riders would be good if there's not a lot of BTRs, but of course, Hod's probably going to have a few BTRs just to dissuade him from that option. Also up to basically his max. He's only got his left side over here, which I imagine will be taking very late game if this game goes that far, because it's kind of looking like Mood's just kind of get rolled again. He's in a very precarious position, down 3 old Erics to 1. Army value is starting to go onto Hod's side just because of all the extra protection. He's up to tier 3 as well, so that's going to be even more brutal for him. V2's coming out, which will be great if he gets a good blob onto those. I mean, a lot of intruders, a lot of warriors. Ravagers would also be a nice little blob here, but I think we're about to see a first huge engagement here, and I feel like it's going to go Hod's way. It just depends on the micro. There's always a chance that, you know, you take a bad engagement, bad angle, and it can quickly swing the game, but I'm just not sure if that's going to happen. Mood's getting up to a 3rd Rax right now. Would love to see a Mastermind coming out, but I don't quite think he's on tier 3. I can see that Boris is coming out, and that is going to be brutal. Tesla Arcane also getting researched, and an airfield coming out as well, so... Oh, that should probably scare Moods. But Moods is going to go in, and Hod's in a little bit bad position right now. He's only got 1 heavy tank in front. V2 not doing super great. And oh man, Moods actually might take this engagement. It's going to be super close. These Storm Riders coming in, but all the armor down, but Boris joins the fight now, and that is going to make a huge difference. Oh my god, Boris is just shredding through this army. Nothing but intruders left right now. And this colony ship lands just to take a V2 shot, but oh man. It is going to go down. There's no way it is getting out of there. Goodbye, colony ship. And Boris already have to eventually win, and Mood's calling the GG there. So that was the cleanup. Not what Moods wanted at all right there. Yeah, at Moods, if I were you, I'd want to read too. That is good because I have that second game, and we're going to jump into it right now.
Battle control initialized.
Right, we're back here for game 2. Looks like Moods has switched to Mark this time, and Odd is playing France, so this is going to be a very weird game. At least Moods has kind of transitioned into a little bit of a Nod player. We are on Circulate from I Like Men, kind of a long 2 mine start here, single mine start here, double mine expansion, and then a single one in the middle. Only 3 old Erics, and they're all spread across the middle, so you can kind of tank all 3. Just depends on which way you want to go. We'll have to see which way these players want to go. Looks like Moods is going to not be contesting these old Erics. He's being cautious against the rush. He does know that Hod is France, so no quick grenadiers. So I'm not sure what this is about. Hod, on the other hand, he is going straight for this middle. I think he is going to get there just fine. Both these players pumping up that ref. I know it has been a little bit of a slaughterhouse against Moods these last couple of casts that I've done, but I have a faith that he can stomach the bullying that I'm doing to him a little bit, and hopefully, you know, he'll manage to take one of these games off him. I'm not sure if that'll be this week or next week, but I'm sure Moods will eventually get a win. You know, somebody's got to let him in, get that broken clock right twice a day, something like that. COD is pumping out a ton of rifles right here in the beginning, even adding 2 medics, 3 medics to that mix, which is going to be very healthy to keep these guys alive. You kind of have to wait for those medics to get in. I'd love to see the medics go first, honestly, if he's going to do this, just because by the time they're going to get their boots would already be established. But it looks like Hot will get away from it this time. Mood's just sitting back in his base, going for another War Factory first build. Kind of what you'd expect on a game like this from him. He likes his War Factory first, likes his little like weird stuff like that. Alright, what do we got going on here for Hod? Well, he's just getting up to that 2 ref, going for a 3rd ref actually, so we might see a 2nd Rax come out if he wants to do that. Engineer's now coming out, but he might be blind scouting this Engineer. That is a bold move, maybe because he saw the lack of Mood's presence here. He's going to assume that Moods is doing something shenanigan-esque like he is. Could be some early bikes, but instead it's just going to be a quicker macro build. Not a bad idea at all. Placing a ref right here, probably way to good as well. This ref, not super huge of this. Nice to have 3 refs, but I think for 3 refs in Combined Arms is pretty bad. Now Hod's gonna go over, check this left side old Derek as he captures this one in the middle. Moods is just barely gonna miss this infantry ball coming in, which is unfortunate, and this Engineer is gonna get in scot-free with no scout. That is a huge bold move from Hod, but it is going to work out for him this time. Moods so close to stalling, but just not right now. He is perfectly macroing up, and looks like he's gonna go for a 3rd ref. He's going to go for a 2nd airstrip before that 3rd ref, though. That is going to be interesting. Moods is being very weird on these games that I've passed him recently. I feel like his macro seems to just be a little bit different than what I would expect for a Combined Arms play, but maybe, you know, he knows something that I haven't since he's been playing a lot more. Then again, Moods has also lost all these games, so maybe he doesn't. It is Moods after all. Hod's doing hot things, getting out those walls, getting out some pillboxes as well. Double pillbox on these vines. It's basically standard stuff right there. 1 pillbox probably not enough to cover these, especially against bikes, so 2 of them will be more than enough, and I like that he puts them away from the tip tree. Not going to cut down on this extra stuff there. First little engagement happens 3 minutes into this, and there is only a little bit of damage done to a buggy, because the buggy cannot heal itself like the medics can to soldiers. Mood's going to go back and decap this. Nope, never mind, Hod never capped it. Probably going to go over here and see that this is capped by Hod, so it's going to be 2-1 old Erics after a little while. APC coming out for Hod 2. I wonder if he's going to tech into anything special. No upgrades just yet, but I did see that there is a radar coming out, and that 2nd airstrip is about to come online for Mood, so he is going to build a 2nd Engineer to decap that and should get there just fine. He's even building another Engineer, so he wants those extra oil darks. That is going to be nice. But I'm not sure. Oh, 3 APCs. I feel like he's going to upgrade them into Raiders since he's building so many of them. I feel like APCs are not that great at armor, but Raider APCs can be pretty good. And there that is. Researching Raider, 30 seconds down. What will Moods have against this? Well, Raiders aren't really good against super quick light armor, but I don't think bikes can stand up to them since they're not turreted. Light tanks will probably be okay. Infantry balls will get decimated by Raiders. Moods also needs to think about expanding. He's got 5 harvesters, and he is working on that last ref. I think, again, had he just placed a ref here and a ref here, he'd probably be in a little bit better shape. Would have got this 2nd airstrip out just that much quicker as well, and probably would have moved out with an expansion. But he's a light vehicle play, probably not going to work out too well. I like that he is at least kind of sort of scouting for that Engineer. Make sure there's no rifles there. That Engineer is going to get in and have a nice 3-0 or Derek lead. Hod is coming in, and there is the upgrades onto ABCs, so they are now Raiders for basically free. I think it still costs a little bit, but you know, it's not that much at all. Infantry supporting MCV as well, which is nice, and now the medium tank transition. So, man, 5 Raider APCs probably just going to go on a flank here, and it could be devastating. There's not much that Nock can do about it without light tanks. Mood's a little bit slow to move this MCV. What are you doing, bud? Come on, get going. He's trying to poke in with the harvester here, and oh my god, there's a lot of bikes here, but again, 2 pillboxes. Probably, honestly, enough to deal with this unless this harvester gets out of pocket. Hod's just going to rotate a little bit back. Doesn't need to rotate everything. Looks like he is going to rotate everything, though, but yeah. So far, Moods has not found any joy in his attack, and I think this attack from Hod is actually going to be super effective. There is some infantry here, but again, you can see from the Raiders what they're good against: light armor, vehicle building defenses, and infantry, so pretty much everything but heavy armor or air, and they are slow-moving projectiles, but pretty effective at it. Here we go. So not going to be good at harvesters, but yeah, they can burn down those rafts really quickly. And Wood's a little bit slow to react here. Basically already loses a ref before he respawns. He's going to lose a 2nd ref for sure as soon as these Raiders get on top of it, and they do so much damage. I mean, this is granted 4,000 worth of material, which is quite a lot, but oh man, he might actually lose a 3rd ref here. The bike's coming in, And they're finally going to be able to tangle with these Raiders, but he's doing a lot of damage here. Not going to lose this third ref because there is a swarm of bikes, but I think those Raiders did their damage. Moods' MCV is stuck here undeployed for now, but his economy is in the gutter. Luckily, he is going to be able to transfer a lot of these cars soon, but with having this one ref and 0 tib here, it's going to take a while if he doesn't have a float. Luckily, he does, so he will be okay on this front. Now the swarm of bikes is going to go in. Luckily, I feel like COD is in decent position, although this MCV might get caught out right here and he might lose it. This could be a pretty big turning point, and it is going to get surrounded, and bye-bye MCV, that one bike getting right on top of the bib there, denying the deploy. But there is some prison tanks, and that will deal with some of these bikes, but this harvester probably going to get forfeited. See those prison tanks slowly going to whittle these down. Moods probably just wants to turn into these prison tanks, honestly, and deal with them, but decides to run away. Loses about half of those bikes. Buggy's still chilling here on the back. Moods has the army. No. Yes. No. Every time I say it, it changes. Moods barely enjoying the army lead for now, but those prison tanks are a lot to deal with. Then again, Moods has now been aggressive pushing here in the middle, and that's going to allow these bikes to come in on the backside. There is a mine layer. We'll have to see if that comes into play, but Moods has pretty much all he needs to deal with this. He just needs to get rid of this pillbox and maybe the prism tanks. He looks like he is going to retreat. And the bikes are trying to go in, not getting hit by the mines. Instead, they're getting torn apart by the pillboxes. And now they're kind of stuck in that corner. Might get that war factory if Hogs does not pay attention, but I just don't see that happening. He's got enough infantry coming over here and the mines, which I think Moods completely missed. Should be good, although that war factory is getting a little bit closer to my liking. MCV pops out just as well. I'm not sure if Moods actually has vision on it. Probably just enough. And MCV is just going to deploy and undeploy and then go probably, yep, straight back to where it was before it got killed. Same time, Moods is got a healthy army now. Still under Hod's value, but I mean, this is a lot of armor where Hod does not quite have a lot. He's got one medium tank to himself. MCV taking a lot of his vehicle queue, and the double vehicles for Moods is paying dividends for that. Although Hod is going to push out right now, this could be pretty scary if these prison tanks get caught out, which they looks like they might. Moods will have a good engagement here. This prison tank completely on the wrong side, taking a little bit of damage, and now Moods is going to engage in this, and Hod is split by the train right here. This could be so good for Moods. I think Hod is going to be in a lot of trouble. All of his army is about to flop, and the prison tank's leading to the front charge. That's not what he wants as well. This prison tank needs to get out of dodge. These troops just need to stand and fight because they are forfeit. Take as much as Moods' army as you can. Now the prison tank is going to die since it tried to engage, and I think Hod is in a lot of trouble now. Moods, like I said, he could, absolutely can come back in this game and win it. And he's looking in a strong position right now. I think Hod just a little bit of a misplay after those ACs. Mine drop getting one harvester. Can I see two harvesters? Nope. Moods instantly pulls it away. And the rest of Hod's army is cleaned up. And now this harvester needs to get out of there. That is not enough for Hod to deal with this. I don't think. He's got 0 tanks on the field. And Moods has more than enough. And the harvester did not get out of there. Try to go and drop off his stuff first. Moods is just going to clean up this base. And that is a lot of power that Hod needs. He's going to be low power once it goes down, unless this pillbox is too much. I know he's just barely going to have enough power, but it is bye-bye. And now Moods can just pretty much walk into Hod's base. There's not much. He has a second mine layer, which is cool, but it's not going to do what it needs to do. He's trying to play a little bit too cheeky right now. And Moods can just roll in with this. There is an engineer here with fortification, so we got a Grand Canyon in your face. Is it going to be enough? I'm not sure it is. It gets one good shot off and tanks pretty well, but there's just too much here for Moods. And that is going to be it for Hod's army. I imagine the GG is coming shortly, and there is the GG. I like the attempt there for Moods with his double airstrip build, proving too much to handle right there, despite losing 3 refs, or 2 refs, and almost that third one. Hod is going to fall, so that is going to be the 1-1, which is good because we have game 3 right now.
Battle control initialized.
Alright, here we are for game 3. This time Hod going back to any Soviet and getting Russia, so perhaps not screwed around this time. Moods sticking with what he likes, sticking with Nod, thinking marked again. I think, remember, he might have actually been Legion last time? I think he was marked since he had light tanks. We are on Quarry from Pink Clouds. This is a classic like combined arms map since it was in the tournament. I'm still not the biggest fan of it, and I probably never will be, and I'll probably say that to the end of my time as soon as I cast these games. But your 2 mines start here with like a very close single mine. only one old Derrick each. Middle single mine expansion here and a double mine expansion here. And you have these two ones in the middle. I think it makes a lot more sense to go north-south on this than it does east-west. We'll have to see if these guys agree with me or not. Both these players pumping out some infantry and booths, being a little bit lighter, probably going to go for another War Factory first, although I don't like War Factory first on this map in particular, just because of the way that the ore is split out, or I should say tib rather, since it is combined arms. One engineer coming in here through the top, you have to be very careful though. Hod could definitely get a guy right here, and your engineer would be forfeit. Both these players coming in, Hod taking the little bit safer route and getting his guys in through the bottom. Hood's going to send out one little force scout just in case there is a push, but unlikely there is. And Hod building 2 engineers and going for a very sneaky cap maybe. This could be a bold play. We'll have to see if it works for him. I'll have to try to keep an eye on that engineer. I hope there is a timing attack like prepared as a distraction, perhaps over here right as an engineer is going in. I would love to see him capture an MCV. That would be some big brain play. Booths going for the smaller or tip hatch first. That is a choice, and he did go double ref. Hod on the other hand, I'm not sure, it looks like he actually might have done it too. These players making some strange decisions to me, but you know, that's just how it is sometimes. Hod having a nice little line of infantry scouts over here all through the map, actually just making sure that there is no bikes coming anytime soon without an early warning, although honestly just dropping a pillbox is even more effective. Sure, it's a little bit more expensive, but it just ensures that you're not going to get sniped by the bikes, whereas bikes could somehow get through one of these guys and like or come from like this side and you wouldn't see coming until the very end. So engineer just slowly getting up there. I hope he doesn't die on the tip, since that's where he is marked to stop. About to see. It's like flame tower on hold for Hod. Ooh, getting up to a service depot, and Moods is just dropping that radar, so or War Factory building a 3rd ref again. Seems like he's been playing a lot of RA, something 3 refs in combined arms is a little bit more rare, I feel like. Hod going up to SD tech, I wonder if it is for from sneaky mine layer stuff, or if he's going to go into MiGs early on with that airfield. Yes, you can go into air off of SD in combined arms. That is a nice thing to see, and that is indeed what he's doing. He's also got a testicle prepped and ready to go. I'm not sure what that is about. Now the engineer is stopping on there. Oh, he's going to go straight into the ref, and Boots is not currently aware of this, but he might see it now that it's flashing. I think looks like Hod is actually going to get away with this. Boots is moving away at the wrong time, but luckily for him, another ref comes out just in time, and Hod instantly sells it. So did that engineer accomplish what it could? I guess it did. It would have been really funny if it got the Conyard. Luckily for Boots, he had another ref coming anyway, so no big loss there, just a little bit less ideal position. These refs might be a little bit too close. These harvesters want to like cross into these other tip fields as they dry up. That is small fish to fry. Hod is moving out towards the middle, which I mean, like I said, not a big fan of, but does give you a little bit shorter time on that MCV move out. Playing a little bit of hood rat here, having his power plants all in line. Got to be very careful with that. Some stuff like Boris can kill 2 power plants at once. I think flamethrowers from Soviets can have a lot of splash. They can like do Grenadiers too. So spreading it out always just better. And the first MiG is out, and Moods is very light on anti-air right now. He's got 3 light tanks. I think it takes 2 runs of a MiG to kill 2 light tanks. I think he can kill 1 and it'll be like about halfway done. He's gonna fly right over the rockets, but get out of there for the most part. Yes, it is gonna take 2 runs to kill a light tank, and it'll have to be instantly going back. I guess you could try to split that 3rd missile off and hit 1 or 2, but that is a very high micro thing to do. I'm not sure you can, but you should be very careful about deciding to push in here. He's down 1 light tank. He's probably going to lose another light tank before the time he even gets close to an attack, and that will allow Hod just to get in position that much better. There's also a Hind to deal with as well. Where is this MiG going? It's going the wrong direction. He should know that there's an attack coming over here, which is a little strange. He's going to be a little bit slow to respond to this, I think, but he is going to see the stuff. And these rockets are actually probably going to kill everything. Tesla coil says, haha, I'm not scared of you light tanks. And goodbye, rockets. And with that Moods, yeah, he's probably going to want to run back because he recognizes he's trapped, and then he realizes that he's trapped, so he's just going to go in anyways. But he might get lucky here, and Hod is going to take a really bad engagement here. Nope, Moods pulls back just in time. Could have got out of there. I think another light tank going on over here from the big, and just kind of sitting in the back. Oh, Hod does not have Tiberium suits, so he might be losing some infantry, and Viceroy could spawn on that would be pretty bad. Moving back and forth across these guys, slowly taking damage. This light tank getting burst down between the Hinds and the heavy tank, and Moods is once again going to retreat. There's no rockets in this army as well, so that is not good, and this MiG barely just missing where he's at. A lot of rockets now coming out from Moods, and some bikes. He probably needs some tier 2 AA, and it looks like he is building some Venom, so that will take care of the MiGs shortly, although MiGs are also AA. I'm not sure who wins between a MiG and a Venom. Oh, rocket's getting a little bit of damage on there. Going to kill a bike, because why not? And the MiG will get out of there. Tier 2 finally coming up for HOD 2 as it expands. And Moods tries to go in with some bikes over here. Trying to burn down that testicle. They actually might get it. It's going to be super close. He does get it, and 2 bikes survive. But I think HOD will be okay. He's got a Hind over here and some stuff. Might lose this harvester if he's careless, but I think he's barely going to get out of there. Needs like 2 more shots, and it's just not enough. Bike tries to retarget onto the Hind and falls down. And Moods once again trying to come in here, but HOD luckily has his heavy tank in front. This is going to go pretty bad for him. Unless HOD doesn't move these light tanks. Heavy tank shooting on the wrong thing as well, but Moods does retreat when the rockets start hitting the light tank. And all that little army is going to get forced away. This one rifle scout actually might gonna help keep these guys prone for a little bit longer as well. Unfortunately, Heinz not having any ammo to deal with the infantry. And the rifles are gonna get away or run right into this engineer. That would be really funny. No, HOD carefully runs away. And bikes are gonna run right into this oil derrick, right where HOD's army is sticking. So unfortunately for Moods, yeah, there's not a whole lot of flanking to do on this map. He's tried, but you really just gotta keep your army in the middle. Another reason I don't particularly like this map. HOD looking in stronger position here. I mean, he's building Yaks too, to go with his MiGs and his Hinds, so he's strong on that air front, not a little bit weak on the AA, at least mobile AA for the mid game. He's got 2 Venoms out, which is nice, but they are pretty expensive and you don't want to lose them. And now HOD is rotating basically his entire army. He's got a little bit, he's actually kind of decently split. So we got 10,000 and 10,000, yeah, so decently split. Air Force is putting on this left side. I'm sure the MiGs and the Yaks will come on the right side if he needs them, but this could be devastating for Moods if he responds to this first and this goes in sneakily. But I think the more likely scenario is that HOD is just going to get repelled here and the Moods will be able to rotate away, but Moods is not moving any army yet. Gets the engineer out over there, which is nice. But I think this army is going to get in, but there's not much here. There's 3 refs, sure, and 2 harvesters, but Moods can rotate that away, and he rotates his entire army. But he is keeping track of this army over here, which is nice. I do like that. So yeah, HOD, I think, making a little bit of a mistake here, kind of splitting up. Moods has to be a little bit careful, though. Got to get these stuff back in the fight. Oh. Losing some Venoms, trying to go for some crashes, but that's not what he needs. But yeah, this attack hasn't done much for HOD at all, just been slowly losing stuff. He's going to kill another ref, but again, there's another ref over here. This is a lot of army for him to lose, but he is going to push on this left side as well, and I think that might make the difference here. But like I said, HOD just losing this entire army for basically nothing. If Moods can somehow stall this attack and get back over here, he might just swing this game. He's going to lose the Harvester. That's not huge in the grand scheme of things. This radar is important in the grand scheme of things, though. And now the question is did he stall enough? Can he get his army over in time? He loses a tier 2. Not the greatest, but is what it is. His army's kind of congliding, and that, unfortunately, is going to be a problem. A Tesla track doing a lot of damage, and his tanks are in the back. These shock troopers making a big difference here. And I think just that tier 2 army versus the tier 1 army is going to be enough to push Mood out of this game. And there it is. HOD taking down Moods 2-1 with Moods calling GG and the disconnect. Oof. Probably bitter disconnect, or maybe he just slipped the finger. That happens. That it was a well-played game by HOD. Kind of interesting. I feel like if he just deathballed with his entire army, it goes a little bit easier for him, but he did manage to push through there, so yeah, Mood's going down 2-1, and that's going to be it for this week. I'll see y'all next time.